Famicom game called Hyper Dimension, which was a Dragon Ball Z Super Nintendo game that you had to like take the pegs off so you could play it.
Yeah.
That was the best.
That was the best.
It was like Street Fighter for Dragon Ball Z.
That's cool.
And it had this really awesome sprites and stuff like that. It was really cool.
Tenkaichi 3 is my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Who is stronger than Beerus, right?
We don't know. We know that Beerus says at the end of Battle of the Gods that there are 12 universes. Some of them have spawned fighters even greater than us.
Doesn't Revival F or whatever take place afterwards?
It does.
They don't use Beerus to fight him off.
No, but Beerus is still there in that movie.
But is he still stronger than
Frieza is not stronger. Yeah, he's still. He never used his full power when he was fighting Goku. Or I think he might have, but I don't know. And then Whis, who is Beerus's attendant, is also his teacher and is far stronger than him. So as of right now, Whis is the most powerful character in the universe. Found
the 204863 tape near the camp near you guys. Where at? It's a reference to Kojima's PT.
So I need to look for a tape here?
Venus Tyrannosaurus.
That doesn't make any sense. Eric, if you were a DBZ character, you would be Yamcha.
I don't know if I should be insulted or very insulted. I mean, at least give me Yajirobe, man.
Yeah, Yajirobe, that'd be a good one.
I'll hang out with the cat. Senzu Bean.
I was thinking of Yajirobe or Popo.
Popo.
Oh, you don't want to be Popo? DBZ abridged Popo?
No.
Oh.
Why not?
Silent Hills, rest in peace. Oh.
What are those?
Showers.
No, they're toilets.
Oh yeah, Aaron.
I know, but there's no one around.
Take a shower.
I tried to do it earlier.
Does Calvin know that? Tell him.
It's a nearby camp. No need to look for it.
Calvin, you have a tape that is just shit noises. Noises of someone taking a shit.
What?
If you get into the toilet and play that tape, people will not look for you in the toilet. Isn't that the best thing ever?
It's amazing.
The best thing ever.
Is the audio playing then, Brian, and you just hear it and you can find it just like any other tape, or is it like an actual cassette tape hiding?
Where does the name come from? Well, several years ago, an excavation team discovered a hominid skull in the Sahel region.
Central Africa, the Southern Sahara.
Cypher gave the specimen the name Sahelanthropus, Man of Sahel. And then they covered the whole thing up.
Why?
They probably wanted to monopolize information about human evolution to have a head start in their genetic research. At least, until they had an idea of what they'd found.
It was that big of a discovery, huh?
Sahelanthropus was a gracile hominid, estimated to have lived about 7 million years ago.
Hello, Jay.
What's significant about it is how its skull's foramen magnum faces down. In other words, its spinal column supported its head from underneath.
It stood upright.
Right. Which would mean Sahelanthropus walked upright 3 million years before Australopithecus, making it the world's oldest human species.
Walking upright. I get it.
That's why it's a
the name
Sahelanthropus.
Sahelanthropus for your machine.
Huey is such a jive turkey.
Upright was the decisive difference between our ancestors and other anthropoids. Our brains could get
That's Mumpevi Plantation. The targets are mixed in with the soldiers in that base. Use the VI to identify them.
Communication through language. Only man is capable of this.
Thank you, Jay.
Creation will be the progenitor
Says you are some cool dudes.
bipedal weapon platforms.
And you did this for Cypher.
No, not at all. Sahelanthropus is the best proof that I never betrayed you guys.
What do you mean?
The reconstructed Sahelanthropus skull looked exactly like the skull we used as our logo 9 years ago in the Caribbean.
An army without a nation. Outside the world order.
The design was based on Pangea,
Ooh.
the supercontinent that existed 250 million years ago, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how long you're gonna stare at that
The
guy.
world was a single landmass. That concept's at
You were
the
gonna go
source
back
of
and
our
look at him
threat.
again. Damn, I shouldn't have said anything.
The same way
I
as
realized
the
it.
philanthropists. Sure, I was forced to build it under their orders, but I always wanted to put its technology back in our hands someday. That's the reason I incorporated the old insignia into Sahelanthropus' name.
Our contract is to eliminate the target.
I was thinking about you guys.
Oh, I see, all right. I see someone desperate to cover his ass. You can say whatever you want after the fact. But that skull also symbolizes somebody else. Skullface.
Snake, you finally came. Just don't record this, okay?
I'm not recording anything. What's this about?
What I'm about to say stays between you and me. It's about the weapon to surpass Metal Gear. You know what?
I want to talk to the chat, but I want to listen to what they say.
He
Right.
works in the biotech industry. Real advanced stuff. His area is bioengineering, but lately he's also gotten into genetic research.
Never heard of him.
Well then, what do you know about cloning?
Ooh.
I think I've heard enough.
Hold on,
Talking
this
about
is
Snake?
important. Cloning lets you create a genetic copy of an organism. You take the nucleus of one of its cells, and you swap it with the nucleus of an unfertilized egg from another member of the same species. They started out working with plants, but since then they've had success with other organisms, including mammals. It's a hot area for a lot of places right now. Corporations, universities, research groups. There's no shortage of scientists out to get famous and patent their work, with morality taking a back seat.
Isn't that a little outside your field?
It's got nothing to do with my research. But I thought it might be of interest to you. Cloning, and Dr. Clark, I mean.
Go on.
Now, this is really highly classified stuff.
Dr. Clark,
But
that's
I've
paramedic.
heard that an American biotech company has successfully cloned a human being. What's more, it happened over 10 years ago, and the researcher behind it was Dr. Clark. You've really never heard of him?
I don't meet many doctors.
This Dr. Clark is a complete ghost, even to others in his field. His age, where he comes from, that might not be his real name. And I can't even say for sure he's a he. Clark's employer,
So it
TGC,
definitely was
company motto
paramedic
is
then.
embrace
Dr.
your
Clark is
purpose,
paramedic. That's Dr. Clark.
preserving talent.
What does this have to do with me?
Cypher. Dr. Clark works for ATGC, and they have connections to DARPA.
Ooh, there, see, they're DARPA.
Cypher
That's Signet.
couldn't function
Who's
without the
DARPA chief?
communications network DARPA's built. Meaning,
That was a long time.
Cypher has to be a part of the Pentagon, or at least the two are joined at the hip. DARPA is a driving force behind human cloning. It's a pretty high priority project for them.
DARPA's
And
the
this
driving
Dr.
force, huh?
Clark, some say he's a pivotal player in Cypher. But that's not all. Every cell nucleus in an organism contains the genetic information for that organism. Think of it as a blueprint for life. Clark appears to be working on how to decode this information and rearrange it at will. If you could do that, it would mean being able to custom design human beings for specific purposes. Can you believe that? Suppose for a moment that this is all fact. A man of your talents.
Everybody
If
saw
your
that.
genetic
She
information
shot him.
died with you, that would
What?
be a terrible loss for mankind.
She was trying to save you.
But what if mankind could preserve you for future generations
Luckily, they're all going to be
by
looking that way.
cloning you?
All right, enough. I get the idea.
Look, I know it's inductive reasoning, but this weapon to surpass Metal Gear they're developing in Africa, I believe it's something
He's
that...
coming too. Roger that.
Speaking as a fellow scientist, it chills me to the bone.
That's rich coming from you.
If genes serve as our blueprint, then I wonder if they include an impulse that drives us to tweak the design. Can you imagine that? Genes, encoded with information that wants its children to decode it. Is life itself putting the direction of our next evolution in the hands of scientists?
Sniper sees you. Get down the ground. Get down the ground. Run.
Real arrogance to believe that. And yet, it could be what
He's a lot closer than I thought.
I think you're barking up the wrong tree. But that was an interesting story. It makes a good movie.
Ooh.
You have to believe me.
Where'd you hear all this anyway?
Where? I just overheard it in bits and pieces while I was forced to do that research for them.
Right.
Wait a minute. Look, I want to help you. I want to be of service here. I'm risking my life with this.
Is that so? Maybe it's time we brought
There's a
someone
helmet.
else into the conversation.
Target confirmed dead.
Not yet. Not a...
5 targets remaining.
Can't do this.
Head for the Kungenga mine.
You need to take cover, like get back. You can get back. You can. He had armor on. The tanks shoot that shit. So, I was gonna say Otacon. Huey has overheard cloning stuff. Now, he says he overheard it. He might actually have been involved with it. We don't know. They still suspect that he... Well, Calvin, what the fuck are you doing? Stand up and run!
He said it happened 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was the time frame in which Snake and Liquid and Solidus would have been created?
I mean, it would have happened... If I remember correctly, they said it happened when he was in a coma. I thought the lore was that when Big Boss went into a coma, they... Cypher found and took his genes then.
So it's already happened.
I know it's already happened for sure, but I don't remember the time frame because he left Zero because of that happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it couldn't have been, if it wasn't a coma, it couldn't have been the coma between Ground Zeroes and here because he'd already left Zero during that point.
Okay.
So, but either way, it's happened by now. So they know.
But does he not know about it? Because he said there, like, what's that to do with me? Cloning. Or was he just lying to Huey?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, it could be either one. I mean, he also acted like he didn't know who Dr. Clark was, but he should have known who Dr. Clark was because they built the Patriots or whatever. Oh, you were getting fucked up.
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
Yeah, SSA said the same thing.
The 6 targets are at Bampevi Plantation and Kungenga Mine. Locate them, and then
Wait, so
eliminate them.
you're saying it was around the time of Ground Zeroes then? So like after Ground Zeroes he went into his coma, it was during that period of time? So I thought it happened back like before Peace Walker
he
when
didn't
he
have
left
2
Zero.
comas, did he?
No, I don't think he had 2 comas.
You said it happened while he was in a coma.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what it said before, but I thought it happened back around Peace Walker time, not during this time. But I only know of him having 1 coma.
Plantation. The targets are mixed in with a soldier.
Or maybe I'm confusing the fact that the Le Infanterie project started earlier, but maybe they just started research on it, but they didn't actually start doing stuff for it, like actually beginning the cloning process until.
Okay.
But either way, they've definitely been cloned, and they should be born. And it's been at least 9 years. So they should be at least like 9 years old.
Was Solidus cloned first?
Fire!
No.
Why is he older?
I think the aging process on him occurred more rapidly. Kind of like how all of a sudden Snake hit.
Fire!
Like,
Yeah.
they genetically modified Snake, so I think it kind of slowed down his aging a little bit until it hit to a point. Whereas Solidus was set up as like a perfect, like, clone.
Yeah.
But I think the aging process was rapid. More rapid than, like, Liquid and Solid were.
Fire!
Yeah, I was thinking it happened somewhere around Peace Walker, not after Ground Zeroes. Like somewhere around the Peace Walker area, or after Portal Lost before Peace Walker.
Fire!
So I was thinking they did something then, and that's what made Big Boss angry, and he left with Zero. They were already having issues beforehand. Zoom in and shoot him off the ladder. He'll go and stun. Just shoot him. Shoot. Oh, you got a headshot.